How you doing? Hey, we got flat open in the market, which is good. Look, yesterday we kind of just ran into the top of the Bollinger Band like we were looking at. And good morning, by the way. And now, you know, we're starting to pull back a little bit. So that's going to be kind of like a little bit of a resistance spot, especially when we kind of ran straight up into it yesterday. And that's what kind of caused the rollover. It's just an overbought kind of correction. We were talking about that yesterday, right? Like at some point during the day, there'll be a dump out of nowhere that comes in and, you know, kind of pulls the market back. Because you think about the market, it's just like a rubber band, right? If you stretch it too far one way or the other, then you end up pulling back. And so we're still in a big bull market. You know, if we just chopped around for a couple days, it wouldn't be the end of the world. That's why we're kind of seeing a flat open here. It's really hard to kind of gap up once you've already started testing the upper Bollinger Band. That's a little bit more rare, at least on a statistical basis. SPY, same type of deal, kind of ran into resistance yesterday. We've pulled back. A flat open is good. It gives us a little bit of room to go. It gives us a little bit of room to go in terms of where we're, you know, looking at support and resistance areas. Hey, Robbie, how you doing? Denny, what's up? Lambert, how you doing? What's going on? Cool. Let's take a look at the watch list because there's definitely some names popping up here or there that we're going to have to be just mindful of. So when we think about, you know, something like this RIV, this is like a base breakout formation over here. We have, you know, we have really kind of a triple tap over here, 125. It's got probably a little bit of room to go because it used to be like 10 bucks. We're already fading off pre-market though. That's my worry on this one is that, you know, usually when you get a small cap guy like this, like you need to see it really kind of starting to control in the pre-market and really make a move. We definitely didn't get that. So, you know, this is kind of a B- at this point. This TUM has got a nice kind of rounding pattern here. If it can break and hold over this 5 spot, I think it's going to have a little bit of action on it. You're already seeing a slight gap up on this thing. I think this one has good liquidity too. It's not going to probably move like in that like 50, 100% range like some of the small guys. Like this is more of a grinder of a stock, but it definitely has the juice on it. RECN is breaking down 1, 2, 3 taps over here. Boom, 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 boom. Man, that one's, you know, this one's got a chance to kind of drift lower too. Gap down shorts haven't been that hot lately, but I think it's going to be pretty good. Tesla's probably the big mover, at least out of the large caps today. It missed, I don't know, it missed something on targets of delivering cars, and so now this thing's already dropped 30 bucks. The one thing with Tesla is going to be that we'll have to kind of be mindful of, you know, it might be hard to short this thing into the hole because this 250 mark, I mean, it's like there's like an invisible hand of God that's been holding this thing up forever. And it's like right at 250, 247, 250. So you do got 10 points of room to fall, but that's really the tough nut that's been going back for 2 damn years. So we'll have to be mindful, like, you know, if you're like coming in and you say you do an ORB or something on this thing, just be real careful. Like when you come in, if you come in too hot and you get too close to support or something like that, it may not have the jahoos that you need. But so far we got really a nice kind of trender pre-market also, so we'll definitely keep an eye on this bad boy, and you know, we'll see what's going on. Man, that could, you know, that's going to be probably out of the liquid ones, the name. And then this TYHT, it's already got a 1.3 million shares in volume. So it's definitely got, like, what we're noticing is, right, the hot plays pre-market, they got to have at least over 1 million shares volume. So you've already kind of triggered that one. We'll see. This thing's obviously going to be a big turd in general, but we may get a couple trades out of this one. Add ZYNE to the list. You know, we had an okay trade on it yesterday on the red to green. I sold it too early, like a dud. It's looking for the same type of thing today. It's got pretty good range. It had 11 million shares in volume yesterday. So watch for same type of action, right? If you get a dip at the open, you go red to green. We might be able to hop on this thing. I IOVA, same type of deal. You got like a nice range break here at 11 and a break over that 200 SMA. So when you get like convergence, right, when you get multiple levels that are coming in hot at the same time, that can give a stock. Woo! That thing had been burrowing in for a while. That can give you a little bit more added support, but also a little bit more of an inflection point to get going. So I do like this IOVA. And then add AYI to the list. This thing had a really hot range yesterday. You've got a nice range break here at this, like, you know, 130-ish mark. 130-ish mark. So what we need to see, like you can see here, like even after the gap up, like we flagged out, it had a $7, $8 move in it yesterday, like off the flag pattern. That's what we want to see, right? In the end, like we're in the business of trading range, right? If a stock can move 5, 6, 7, 8 points, then it doesn't really matter if you have a small account or big account or no account or whatever, right? When you have 5, 6, 7 points you can trade around, then that allows you to really take the meat of the move and have yourself, you know, some good trades. It's much easier to trade a $100 stock that moves 10 points versus a $1 stock that moves 10 cents, right? There's no trade that can be taken in a $1 stock that moves 10 cents, but there's numerous trades you can take if a stock has the ability to move 10 points. So we always want to kind of go around with that. I like this one a lot. Watch this one for the week open and the red to green. The key is, like, can it hang out over this 135? If it can, then I think we're going to have ourselves, you know, the potential to get this thing going. What's going on, Blazing? You back? Let me see. You guys asked about Crex, huh? I've never heard of this Crex. Let me see here. Crex. You know, Crex doesn't do enough volume here, so probably not my cup of tea. I mean, I like stocks that do at least 1 million shares of volume, so probably pass. I ain't judging, but I don't know what you're gonna do with this thing. See, when you have like when your candles look like noodles on a chart, that means it just doesn't do any volume. So probably leave that one alone. Danny, you always got the weirdest stocks you watch, and now I'm just messing. Twatter. So Twatter is a grinder anyways, right? You know, it's up 5, 6 days in a row. It's just stuck in a range. I mean, I would, for me, like, if you're a swing trader, it's one thing. But if you're a day trader, you know, you don't want to even be really looking at Twatter till it gets out, you know, over this base, right? Because it's just, if it's stuck under resistance, then it's not going to have the juice to play. As day traders, we need to be trading clean stocks, right? Stocks that are breaking out, breaking down, or are sitting on some level of support, you know, if you're in between range, right? So you need to either be out of the range, up or down, or if you're in between, then you've got to be right on some level of support. So I'll probably leave the, you know, Twitter alone. TNXP. You know what? I didn't see this. I don't know why I did. You know, trade IDs is weird sometimes. Yeah, you could definitely add this one to the list too. How much volume does it got? It's probably got enough volume on it. I would definitely, you know what? I didn't see that on my list. Definitely, I'd probably add that one in. Remember with these things, man, you can only hit this thing on like an ORB if it's really tight and perfect. You know, otherwise, let it gap up, pull back, and round. And then when it kind of like busts over the VWAP, you can take it again. So, you know, those are, I got ATHM on my list too, Mr. Olson. Looks pretty good. It's just flagging out over here. So you definitely got that one. I got CVNA also. As long as CVNA holds out over this 60 spot, Mr. Mike, then I think that one is, that one's going to be pretty good. Hey, Mr. Thomas, hello. Elizabeth, what's going on? IQ, to me, IQ is a kind of a tweener, right? See, this is like when we have stocks, if you're like sandwiched between support and resistance spots and you're just stuck in range, that's a really tricky trader because you don't have yourself the ability to get a proper bias on the stock, meaning like, okay, I think this thing is due for breakout or breakdown, right? You have to have, when you have a trade, think about like having an overall thesis of the trade. What would your thesis be? Is like, oh, okay, this stock is trending. right? It has XYZ going on, and I think it's about to break out. Where this one, like a few days ago, it looked pretty good, but now like it's kind of looking more like a tweener where it's, you know, where it's not necessarily a long, but it's not necessarily a short. It's not necessarily good or bad. It's just quite kind of in there. So it's like something you would just watch and see like how it starts to set up. You know, this RHPH is probably not my particular cup of tea just because it's going to be gapping up into resistance. You know, sometimes they do just break over and just fucking run because the float on this, if it's to be believed on TC 2000, if it's only 2 million, I mean, it's going to just take a couple market orders to get this thing out over 10 and then it will be clean. Good, 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 good. Yeah, Dom, we traded ZYNE yesterday. We just used the same plan that we talked about in pre-market yesterday, right, in terms of the levels and stuff. But definitely probably worth a look still. Ooh, sneaky. Somebody just found this one. You know what? This is kind of hot. I would add this in. Yeah, probably worth a shot. Cool. Definitely. All right, guys, we'll trade well today. Let's go do what we got to do. Let's make a little money. Hey, Damien, what's up, baby? Let's go do what I got to do. What do we got? Thursday? So you got 2 days to make it happen. You know, make sure that you guys are trading just the cleanest stocks. Make sure there's, at least at the open, especially on these small cap guys, you got to let the range develop, right? If it's a small cap stock, let the range set, right? Let the stock tell you when it's going to go versus, right? You try to force yourself on it, right? Today's a different day in the world. You can't rub people's shoulders or smell people's hair anymore. Don't force yourself on that stock. Let it come to you. Let that ORB set up. And remember, never sniff another person's hair. They don't like it.